Let's get back now to last night's historic moment when Senator Kamala Harris became the first woman of color to accept a major party nomination for vice president.
I keep thinking about that 25-year-old Indian woman, all of 5 feet tall, who gave birth to me at Kaiser Hospital in Oakland, California. On that day, she probably could have never imagined that I would be standing before you now and speaking these words. I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America.
Joining us now, former senior advisor to President Barack Obama, Valerie Jarrett. Mike Barnicle and Alicia Menendez are back with us as well. Valerie, great to have you on the show. And I want to get to all the different things that Kamala Harris, the choice of Kamala Harris, bring to the table. But first, looking ahead to tonight, what does Joe Biden need to do if Michelle and Barack Obama and Kamala Harris really kind of laid out the case against Trump? What does he need to do to close the deal?
Well, first of all, Mika, what an incredible convention it has been. And I had goosebumps again watching Senator Harris say that she accepts that nomination. It's just a historic moment for a person who really reflects the American story. And the last night's theme was the More Perfect Union, and it came to life through the voices of those, particularly the women who have helped perfect our union through their grit and hard work and resilience and love of country. And so I think for Vice President Biden, the case has been made on his behalf. I think he'll tell his story again, let people in, as every speaker has done, so that there can be a connection with the American people, and explain why he is the man for this moment, together with his partner, Senator Harris, and also, of course, contrasted with the unbelievably painful last nearly 4 years, as each of the speakers have also done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We have Alicia Menendez with us, and she has the next question for you, Valerie. Alicia?
Hey, Alicia. How are you?
Thanks, Mika. Hey, Valerie. Good to see you. You know, last night we saw President Obama give his most pointed critique yet of President Trump, and I'm hoping that you can pull back the curtain for us, give us a little sense of the thinking that went into the former president's decision to make the speech that he made last night.
Because he thinks the stakes couldn't be higher. Our democracy is in peril. And I think the setting with the Constitution behind him, framing the context for why he had to deliver the message he did, really speaks volumes to what he believes is at stake here. And I think it wasn't just making a case for why Vice President Biden is the man for the hour with Kamala Harris. It wasn't just a case against the track record, the abominable track record of President Trump, but it was also to inspire us all to feel that we have a responsibility. When he was president, he fulfilled that responsibility. But the most important office is the office of citizen. And so I think he didn't want to just inspire people. He wanted to motivate them to get out there and do something. And the final point I would make is though I think that this convention is working better without the crowd. I think people were able to lean in and listen without the hoopla at this critical time in our nation's history. And so I like the fact that he delivered the speech without any applause. I would say the same thing for Senator Harris. They wanted people to hear them clearly, absorb what they were saying, and feel this enormous connection with what we all have to do collectively.
Mike Barnicle.
Valerie, I realize that you are not engaged in the day-to-day strategy planning for the Biden-Harris ticket. But the other night, during the virtual roll call, to your point about this being more intimate without the convention crowds there, but during the virtual roll call, it struck me not for the first time this week that we are looking at each and every hour of this convention coverage. We're looking at the face and the feelings of America. So my question to you is, if you're on the other side of the equation, if you're on the Republican side of the equation, what do they do to respond to what we see and hear each and every night during this convention?
Well, I think, and we'll see next week, that they do what they have been doing, which is to continue to play to a smaller and smaller base, trying to excite that base so much that they will turn out in record numbers to vote. But that does not reflect our country. And I think, Mike, you got it just right. The voices of the American people, the richness of our diversity, the stories that they told about the effect that the last nearly 4 years has had on their lives, from the woman who talked about her dad dying of COVID-19 and his pre-existing condition was President Trump, to the dreamers, to the folks who are worried about being deported, to the people who are struggling because their businesses are closing. All of those stories reflect, first of all, the grit and the strength and the fact that those folks still love our country and see its potential. And I think that for the Republicans, they're missing out on that. They're not trying to build a big tent. They're not reaching out to independents and Republicans. They're using fear. They're using distortions, if not outright untruths, as we've seen of late, well, as we've seen the last 4 years. And I don't think that really reflects the goodness of America, and most Americans are good.
Hey, Valerie, it's Willie. Good to see you this morning. I think it's very clear by now that Democrats, progressives, many Americans were energized by seeing first the former First Lady on Monday night and last night former President Barack Obama. They were reminded of what the country looked like 4 years ago, what it can be again. This is from the Democrat perspective. So my question to you is, how much more will we see of President Obama and First Lady Obama on the campaign trail over the next couple of months? I know they don't want to overshadow Joe. It's his race, Vice President Biden's race. But, you know, when they come out, Democrats are energized, undeniably. So will we see a lot more of them?
I think what President Obama has said is he is here to do whatever is most helpful to the campaign. He's all in. They are all in. I thought her speech was just magnificent in its raw and transparent honesty. It is what it is. I've heard that so many times in the last couple of days. And so, yes, they both made the point that our democracy really hangs in peril, and we all have to do whatever possible to ensure Vice President Biden's success. Michelle Obama has been working for the last 2.5 years on When We All Vote, which is a nonpartisan effort to get people to turn out to vote. She was so disappointed in the last election with the turnout, and that's part of our civic responsibility. So, yes, I think you will hear their voices out there in any way possible to make sure that we turn this page. This dreadful, dreadful chapter in our nation's history must come to an end.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.